Thanks everybody for being here. We are so excited to have this conversation with Chey. Chey has been she has grown the YouTube presence of Kelly Zitlow and worked with many loan officers and helping them build visibility through YouTube and video. And I think this is going to be a very practical and useful conversation. We saw on the Next Gen Homebuyer Report this year and last year, YouTube was the number one place that Next Gen homebuyers go to for homebuyer education. So this is absolutely crucial, and yeah, just so excited to have you here, Chey.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm always excited to share the good news about YouTube. Is it cool if I share some slides?
Yes, let's wait first. I would love for you to give a little bit of an introduction to kind of your background and
Sure.
why what you do, why you do it. And also, I want to remind everybody on this call, this is set up to, be a place where we can have a discussion. So if you have questions and I think with this kind of conversation you will, please don't hesitate to raise your hand. We can have you come off mute or type in the chat. But we would love to get your questions answered, and no question is stupid here. We want to have a really good conversation. Anything you want to add to that, Dave?
Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to emphasize, guys, this is a really special experience. I mean, Chey is truly one of the foremost experts at how to make YouTube valuable for mortgage and real estate professionals. I mean, what she's done with Kelly Zitlow's YouTube page, it truly is one of the best YouTubes in the mortgage space. Kelly uses it to win with realtors. She uses it to win with consumers. She's got both a YouTube channel that is well known in the Scottsdale market with the real estate industry, and then she's gone nationwide. So you've got someone who really knows their stuff at a very high strategic level, and then also at a very, very tactical level. And also just emphasize everybody, you should have a YouTube strategy. Whether you have a strategy. Does that mean you want to be a Kelly Zitlow? No. I don't think, everybody is meant to do that. Not everybody's going to want to do that. But should you have some bare minimum YouTube strategy? Yeah, I think if you are a local referral-based mortgage professional, you want to win locally, you want to win with your database. And the new modern database is not just your CRM, it's your YouTube channel, it's your Instagram channel, it's your Facebook channel. So I think this is very, very important, and I'm pumped to learn from you, Chey.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So yeah, just going back a little bit about my background. So I want to go back to our favorite time in history, the real estate crash. So at the time, I was working for Chase Bank. I was a VP of marketing for the mortgage division there. And the ship was sinking. It was, I laugh, but obviously it was a difficult and painful time in our mortgage history. But so I left Chase and, looking for work in the mortgage industry as a marketing professional during that time. I mean, there were just like nobody was hiring, right? Everybody was cutting their marketing programs. It was crazy. And then here was this, company, this gal, this Kelly Zitlow, who was looking for a mortgage person in the middle of the crash. And this, we're talking 2010, like we're right in the thick of it. And so I went on this interview and I was just really so impressed with her vision. She's like, now is the time to double down on marketing. And I'm like, you get it. So few people get it. And I feel like her and I just had an instant meeting of the minds and we began to work together. And at the time, she was doing an email marketing. She was doing an email every week out to her database with just a nugget. During that time, she was really trying to provide education because there was just a lot of craziness going on. Like, can I buy a house? What's happening? There was just a lot was going on. So she was just sending out this once a week, newsletter. It was just written. And then she had this vision about doing video. Like, how could I reach more people? How could I connect with people on a deeper level? And she had this idea to do video. Now, I had hired video crews when I worked at Chase Bank. Of course, we had deep pockets prior to the crash, so we could do all kinds of those cool things. But I didn't know how to do it at a grassroots level. I had never done video. Our phones at that time, this was now 2013, beginning of 2013, our phones didn't have cameras in them, right? So, YouTube was a thing, but like not a lot of people were leveraging it. But we set out on this journey. I started taking classes and learning it and going on to YouTube and learning things about YouTube on YouTube. And there was this guy named Dave Savage. He was getting in the YouTube game at that time too. And so at least I could say like, well, there's a couple people. There was like two or three people, in 2013 getting on YouTube. So like this could be a thing for us. And so that first year was a little rough in the learning, and I was learning different things than Kelly. Kelly struggled with just seeing herself on camera, and she wouldn't let me post any of the videos that first year because she didn't like any of them. And then we sort of had a little come to Jesus meeting when we were doing our 2014 planning. And I was like, listen, like these videos are good. You just got to trust me. Like you got to get out of your own way. Like we can do this. And so she did. And we've been posting videos ever since January 2014 on YouTube. Now built two channels. The consumer channel, Mortgage How Do I, is monetized. And so we do earn money from ad revenue, and has created so many other opportunities for Kelly, not just getting leads, but also her doing speaking events, creating relationships. It's been life-changing for both of us, so much to the point where I was for a while also running the corporate marketing department at Cornerstone. And I just, at a certain point, really realized, I'm all in on YouTube. That's really where I want to be. And so now I still manage Kelly's channel, but I also do YouTube coaching for real estate, for agents and lenders.
Well, I think so many people can relate to that moment that you're talking about with where Kelly, I know I understand that feeling of like, oh, I don't want to put myself out there, or this feels uncomfortable. And I also know that things change so quickly with social media, with YouTube, and you're constantly, I'm sure, having to stay on top of what those changes are. For people who didn't get in on YouTube early on and maybe still feel very uncomfortable with putting themselves out there, is there some kind of like, shift that you see with loan officers that helps them get over that hump, or what would you recommend for someone who has tried and kind of been like, oh, this isn't working for me? What would you recommend?
Well, for Kelly, for her, it was really about getting in the right mindset. That it wasn't about her, right? Because she didn't like her voice, and she's like, "Oh, I wish I would have said this instead of that." And I can relate too, because now that I shoot my own videos, like I'm going through that whole process. Like, I don't like the way I look, but you know what? It's not about me. It's about the audience. And when you really have a heart to serve people, when you genuinely want to educate and help people, and that's why I chose my corporate marketing to leave that, to do this, because I just see such a great opportunity for real estate agents. Like I'm just passionate about that. Like I want people to win on YouTube. People are in our industry, 25% of loan officers are on YouTube. That means 75% of them are not. Like, and they're missing the opportunity to really build a brand and to have that visibility and to grow. And I'm just passionate about it. So when you're all in on what it is that you're doing, and YouTube is the vehicle to get that out, then you get in that mindset where you're like, okay, it's not about me. Nobody cares what I look like, right? Or sound like, or what they care about is the value that I provide. And
I
when
love
you
that.
focus on that, you can leave the other stuff behind.
Yeah, that's exactly what has gotten me through when I've been anxious about getting on stage somewhere. It's that exact idea of like, okay, it's not about me. It's about what message I want to bring, what value I want to bring. And so I love that. I wrote down, I want to clip what you were saying so we can share that on social media.
And the
Um,
feeling of when somebody, like I was at an event and somebody came up to me and they're like, oh, I attended your webinar, and I really wanted to do this, but I was just missing this one piece. And for her, it was like about the editing. And she just knew that she wasn't going to be able to do editing. And I provided like a solution for her in this webinar. She's like, you changed everything. She's like, now that I have that solution, now I'm on YouTube. Now I'm getting the videos. Now I feel like I could do it. And that feeling that you genuinely helped somebody, like there's just no better feeling in the world, right? That you had that one piece of information that made all the difference for that person. But I have a YouTube coach as well, and he's also what changed everything. And every time I see him, I just remind him, like, hey, don't forget, like I'm one of the people, I'm one of the lives you changed, right? Like there's just no better feeling in the world.
So good. And I want to make sure everybody heard that if like someone had a question, Chey provided a solution. If you have a question, put that in the question box. Don't miss the opportunity to ask this incredible YouTube coach about what your YouTube questions are. So, Chey, I know you have a lot of like practical information you want to share. I'll let you, share some slides and I'll just kind of stop you as we have questions along the way.
Yeah. Love it. Okay. So I'll just share a deck here and we'll just kind of move through this quickly. So YouTube really is the place, it is the #1 platform for visibility. And I have people tell me all the time, like, oh, but TikTok and Instagram. And I'm not saying don't do TikTok and Instagram. I want you to know I am an advocate for social media for exposure. But it does, you have to come up with a strategy and a plan to be able to do all of them. And let's just say that if you could only choose one, where are you going to get the biggest bang for your buck? Where are you going to get the most visibility? And in order to do that, like, where are the eyeballs? And not just because what you think, because I've had so many people say to me, like, it's not TikTok. And I'm like, well, that's not what the data shows. The data shows it's YouTube with 2.7 billion users, 1 billion hours watched, 5 billion videos. I mean, everybody in my house, my husband, my son, my 9-year-old twins, my 74-year-old mother, they are all watching YouTube videos. It's now reported that 30% of the world's population is watching YouTube. So, and remember, YouTube is owned by Google. And so YouTube is the second most visited website in the world, and Google owns them. When you are creating videos, you are also building SEO for yourself on Google. Google will show videos. And guess what else? ChatGPT is showing videos too. And some of the other AI programs, they will actually pull videos from YouTube as part of their answers. So honestly, with AI, there's never been a better time. And YouTube just announced that they are really tightening down on AI channels. So when you are like an authentic, real person, you are doing YouTube videos, you're going to get that exposure. So one of the stats that I think is really cool is that YouTube now reaches more 18 to 49-year-olds than all cable networks. And we know that our buyer pool is in that 18 to 49-year-old category, right? So I think that's pretty cool. And they're the #1 for watching TV as well. What's also cool is, before I share that, here is a study that shows, if you can scan this QR code, and here's the study that shows that YouTube is the #1 in all demographics. Men, women, race, age group, income, education, all of it. #1 in every single category. So check that out. But I was going to say, YouTube is also the #1 on every device. So whether that's the television screen, the phone, the iPad, the laptop, the device, YouTube is the #1 most watched platform on every different device. And so that is pretty cool because you want to go where the eyeballs are. Now, I have people occasionally say to me, I don't do YouTube. Well, unless I need to go learn how to do something like fix the sink or change the tire or build a trampoline for the kids, then I go to YouTube. But otherwise, I don't do YouTube. I really don't YouTube. Well, part of that is because people are thinking of YouTube as a social media platform. And while that is what it's categorized, it's really not. It's really a search engine. It's really an education platform. Yes, there's entertainment. Yes, there's news, but it's a search engine. It's really, you can comment on videos, but it's not a social interaction. You cannot DM people like you can on Instagram. So it is different in that regard. 70% of people say that they go to YouTube to solve a problem or to learn something new. So don't you think people are going there to figure out how to fix their credit, how to buy a home for the first time, how to buy a second home? You know, these topics get thousands of searches. And remember, I said only 25% of loan officers are on YouTube. So this is wide open for you to educate your audience. And you'll be able to leverage these videos as the rest of your marketing and your website and your email campaigns. So that's pretty cool. So when we talk about YouTube, I'm really talking about long form content. I know everybody wants to do short form, and I am not against short form in any way. We do short form. I like to think of short form as the teaser, as the appetizer, as the commercial. How deep can you really go with your audience in 60 seconds? You want to go deep with them on YouTube, fully educate them. Short form is what grabs the attention. YouTube is what builds the relationship. So when you produce a video, a long form video on YouTube, you are going to get that play for years to come. When you produce a TikTok or an Instagram reel, that's here today, gone tomorrow. That's 24, 48 hours or, you know, short time span. It is certainly not 3-4 years from now. Kelly is still getting views on this video. How do I buy a second home? Mortgages for second homes. This video has gotten 88,000 views. She's still getting views. In May, last month, 2,000. We're still averaging 2,000 views a month right now on a video she created in 2022. So while it is more work perhaps to create long form videos, they have a lot longer shelf life, a lot more longevity. So that's pretty cool. These are Kelly's top 5 videos, and you'll see 3 of the top 5 videos were created in 2022 and 2 of them in 2023. So that is definitely getting a lot of bang for your buck out of these videos. Also, how many people did you interact with yesterday? Was it 2,500 people? Was it 2,570 people? Because in the last 48 hours, 2,570 people have seen the face of Kelly Zitlow. So that is pretty cool, right? That is that exposure. That is that brand building. That is that visibility that you want to be known for, that you want to have, right? This channel was created at the end of 2021. We did a few test videos and it's already got 1.2 million views, 25,000 views in the last month. So, you know, when you're looking at your stats, like, are you looking at your analytics? Do you know how many people you're really reaching? I love the analytics in YouTube. It tell you exactly. And by the way, that's with, you know, just under 6,500 followers. On YouTube, it's not about followers. It really isn't. Okay, it's about reach. It's about connecting with the right audience. So subscribers are really just a vanity metric at this point. You do need 1,000 subscribers to monetize. After you get to that 1,000 subscribers, like I said, it's really mostly a vanity metric because the algorithm at YouTube is not dependent on your subscribers. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But again, instant credibility. I have a great story. You know, people, they connect to you when they see you over and over on YouTube, then they know you. They start to, you know, understand you as the expert on YouTube. I was at a party and it was like a networking event, and somebody came up to Kelly and like, "Are you Kelly from YouTube?" Like, you know, like, or they say, "Oh yeah, I know her. I've seen her YouTube videos." So it creates that credibility, and this familiarity breeds connection, and this idea of a parasocial relationship where people feel like they know you because they've seen you so many times. It occurred to me that Dave Savage and I, we only like met a few years ago in person. you know, because we would talk on Zoom and on the phone and through email, and I would see his videos and I would watch him, and you know, but when I met him, it didn't feel like I was meeting him for the first time because we'd known each other all these years. Because it's just natural. You see somebody over and over again, whether it's on video or on Zoom or whatever it is, you feel like you know them. And so that's how we create that know, like, and trust that helps us go deeper with the audience. Okay. So any questions on that so far, Kristen? You're
I was
on.
muted. We have a couple questions coming in that are more on the practical side of like one of the
Tactics.
questions I thought was really great around tagging videos. If that's something you're going to get to, then we can wait to answer that. But the question is how best to tag your videos for visibility and where the tags should go, if they should be in the descriptions or back end editing, that type of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. We'll talk about that. We'll just wrap up on this part here, and then we'll get into some more nuts and bolts. But YouTube really does shorten your sales cycle. When buyers call you, they feel like they know you already, and so you know that you get through the funnel 30 to 50% faster. And again, on the algorithm. So I want to explain something important about how the algorithm works, because this plays into what the strategy is. When we get to the next fight, you'll learn that it's less about tags and more about these other things that I'm about to talk about. The algorithm on YouTube works a little bit differently than, say, Instagram, TikTok. It doesn't push out content. It's not like, hey, Chey has a new video today. Let's push that out to the masses. It's about the user. So it's like, Kristen's online today. What do we have for her? Oh, well, yesterday she watched this. Let's pull some more of that for her. Last week she watched this. Oh, she likes that creator Chey. There's another creator that's like Chey. Most of the people who watch Chey also watch this other creator. Let's pull that creator for her, for them. So the YouTube algorithm is pulling content. It's doing that based on the audience, the person who's on YouTube. It's doing it based on their search history and their watch history. And then what are the other creators that are similar to that? What are the other, what audience members are similar to Kristen's, you know, the things that she likes to watch? And so let's pull those and see if she would also like to watch these. What are about her preferences? What are her preferences? What most matches that? And then it grabs that and it puts it on the home screen. And when it puts it on the home screen, it's up to Kristen to click. So it's really not about tags that much, and I'll talk about that. It's more about getting the click. Okay. Once we understand how the algorithm works, it's not pushing out content, it's pulling content for the audience member. Then we can then I'll move into the strategies that are going to help you get that click. But first, again, I just want to emphasize long form on YouTube is the way to go. Shorts is going to get that attention. What we do that has been a great strategy is we create the long form videos. And then I use an app called Opus Clip. I copy and paste the link into Opus Clip, and AI makes the shorts for me from the long form. So Kelly doesn't actually make any shorts just to make shorts. She only makes long forms. And we get tons of clips for short form that we use for branding and attention getting purposes. And on YouTube, what's really cool about that is you can link that short back to the long form video. So then now you're trying to leverage the two. Okay, so but we got to get the click, right? We got to get the click. So which videos would you rather click on? The ones on the right or the ones on the left? Or the one in the middle? This was from a builder. No thumbnail. It was one of their floor plans. It was a 1 minute. All they did was show like one of their models to music. No person talking in it. It was for a minute. They got 17 views. 2 months ago. I'm surprised they got 17 views. It was probably because they sent the link to somebody like, hey, here's a video of the floor plan that you're interested in. That's my guess. Because what of these things on the screen, what are you going to click on, right? Anna, she's got a video 48743. Why would I click on that? I have no idea what's in it for me. What am I going to learn from Anna? How is Anna going to educate me? And then this other guy, he's a hammer, not a screwdriver. His graphics are flipped backwards in his thigh. I do not know what this video is about. I'm impressed he got 4 views. I don't know. Maybe it was his mom. I'm not sure, but why would you click on that, right? The audience wants to know, what are they getting when they click? They have a lot of choices. What is it about this video that makes me want to click? You know, a lot of loan officers do videos about market updates, and it's just market update and the date. Well, if I know you and like you and trust you, I might watch your video because I know you to be a person, who has good information. But if I'm trying to reach new audiences with my market update, I got to put a little zizzle on it. I got to put some, good stuff here. This says best buyer's market since 2009. Ooh, and then they've got all these for sale signs. Oh, I better find out what's happening. Apparently it's a buyer's market. If I'm in the market to buy, I might want to click on that and find out. And she just does a talking head video. She's a real estate agent, but she just does a talking head video where she's got like a little room where she records her videos and then she puts up charts and graphs. So she is not a realtor who is going out and doing model showcases or floor plans or listing videos. She's educating her audience with these updates. Same thing here, Javier Vidana. This video got 327,000 views. He has a couple or over 100,000 viewers, subscribers on his channel. He's a real estate agent in the Phoenix market. And he also just does talking head educational videos, which is what Kelly does, right? She sits at her desk, she talks. Sometimes we have charts, graphs. We love to do TCAs, right? We love a good TCA. This is the kind of thing that Javier does. So, how much house can you actually afford by salary? And then he's got that's it. Oh, well, now I'm interested, right? Very interesting. So really,
quick question related to this. Dennis asked, what's your opinion on posting a podcast and strategy for that? Would you recommend, that being video and then just making sure the title and the thumbnail all are engaging, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I absolutely love a video podcast. I do. But where people go wrong is they say, podcast episode 3, and then the name of my podcast. No one's searching for that, right? What's in it? Why should I listen to this podcast? Like, you could put the podcast number at the end of the title, that's okay. Or you could put it, very small in the thumbnail, or you can even put it in the description. But again, we need these titles and these thumbnails that are engaging. Another thing is with the podcast, people have a template, and it's just like the person that they're interviewing and them, and it's just like a template. I've got to get people to click. So I have to be much more intentional with my thumbnails. Why should they click? What am I going to get out of this podcast that I must know? And it's going to be the thumbnail and the title that go together. But I love a podcast, especially like 30 minutes to an hour. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about why I love that when we get to, I'm going to go over these. The secret to winning on YouTube is these 3 things: getting people to click, getting people to watch, and getting people to take action. That's how you win on YouTube. That's the biggest thing right there. Click, watch, and action. Sounds easy, but sometimes it can be hard, okay? So when we talk about getting them to click, we've already started on this, writing those irresistible titles. This Win the House You Love, he's got almost 200,000 subscribers. Home buyer grants just ended. This is Kyle Seagraves, by the way. Low down payment options buyers can use, and it said instead. A little long, but he's got 6.8, almost 7,000 views on that in a month. And then look at how the text on his thumbnail is different than his title. What a lot of people do is they take the title of the video and then they put that on the thumbnail. But what you really want to do is you want to use text on the thumbnail to enhance the title. So here he's got this $10,000 crossed out. So now I'm like, $10,000 is going away. What am I going to do? I better watch this video to find out what am I going to do now, right? So there's also like a very specific design when it comes to thumbnails that convert on YouTube. And that's going to be, you know, like he's got this shocked face and then he's got a house in the background and then that crossed out big text, big text. People are watching this on their mobile phones. So you got to have that big text that you can still read when that thumbnail is teeny tiny. And then, so you want to have as few words as possible so that you can get them as big as possible. And then leveraging SEO is really about like what keywords are going to be, you know, home buyer grants. If somebody's searching for home buyer grants, these are the first words in his video. So that's going to be the SEO. And then it's all about buyer psychology. So when we're talking about that, sometimes it's replacing. A lot of people don't know. If you have a video that's underperforming, you can look at the click rate and you can change the thumbnail. YouTube actually allows you, will do tests, run tests for you to A/B testing with up to 3 thumbnails. And even Mr. Beast, who is the biggest channel, has the most followers, believe it or not, he has underperforming videos and videos that got lower click rates, and he will change the thumbnail. He is a thumbnail team. He has a team that does nothing but thumbnails, okay? And he will change the thumbnail 100 times until he finds the one that connects. So thumbnails and titles is a big deal for everybody. Now, his underperforming videos look a little different. Like his underperforming is like, oh, it only got 50 million views instead of 100 million views. But I guarantee you, he cares just as much. He cares just as much. I've heard him say it many times. Like it drives him crazy if like a thumbnail doesn't perform. Like he's got to find the formula. So the buyer psychology and changing things up plays a big part in it. So getting them to watch. So getting them to watch when we talk about tags, there's a section for tags when you go into the YouTube description and you can put them there, but YouTube has said repeatedly that has minimal impact on the video. The biggest thing that will get your video seen by more people is getting people to watch the video as long as possible. YouTube has one goal. Keep people watching videos on YouTube as long as possible. They reward creators who have long watch times. So in analytics, we call it the AVD, the average viewer duration. What is the average viewer duration of your video? If you have a 20-minute video, how long did people watch on average? If it was only 1 minute out of 20, probably not going to get a lot of traction. If you could get people to watch your podcast, your 30-minute podcast, if you could get the average amount of people to watch 15 minutes of a 30-minute podcast, YouTube's going to be showing that to more people. They're going to say, who else is, what other podcasts would this person be interested in? So tags, there's a spot for them below the description. I recommend in the beginning, if you're just starting out your channel or trying to get an underperforming channel on track, that you do the tags, but it's minimal impact on results. The big creators don't even do tags at all anymore because they know the formula. Getting people to click, then once you get them to click, you got to get them to watch. If people are dropping off in the first 15 seconds of your video, that's an algorithm killer. That's why you need a strong hook. That's why you will notice the top creators, they don't say, hi, my name is Chey, and I've been doing marketing for like, no, the big, they don't introduce who they are. They may never say their name in the video, but their name is in the channel, it's in the description, it's in all of that, right? Like they're going to hook you in that first 15 seconds because watch time is the biggest way to get YouTube to put your video in front of more people. And then in terms of what you should do for video production, I like an iPhone. That's what I've used. But as of recently, Kelly, for her talking head videos, is using an app called Descript. Here's a QR code if you're interested in Descript. Descript is AI video editing, and it has a screen recorder in it. So she just sits down with her webcam at her desk. She doesn't even mic up because there's like an AI filter that will improve her audio in Descript. And when it comes to editing, she doesn't do the editing, but as a process flow that we'll do, she'll sit down, open up Descript, record it in Descript, then I'll, go to my desk, open up the video on Descript, and I can just do the editing. And it makes it like a Word document. You're editing a video like a Word document. So it's pretty like, you can do all kinds of really cool things too. Like if you have ums, if you're a person that says a lot of ums in your video, with one click, you can remove all the ums. It will go through it and it'll take those out. Or word gaps, when we're thinking about what we're saying and we pause for a minute, those can be algorithm killers because the audience gets bored. The pace is not quick enough. So you can take all those word gaps out with a click. So that's pretty cool. There was a recent study done that said that the thing that people care about the most in the video is the lighting and the audio. It's not fancy editing. Now, that doesn't mean that fancy editing like B-roll and text and graphics and charts, and we have had much success with the videos where we do the Mortgage Coach TCAs. People love those. We have done very well with the videos that feature TCAs. People like to see the breakdown and the numbers. So highly recommend that.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I would tell you guys, anyone listening to this, I get so much positive feedback from loan officers that do that. I know Sean Rivero actually sent me a really funny video the other day. It's more of an Instagram video, but it's showcasing a TCA. I'll actually put a link to the Instagram photo in here, or the Instagram. He just posted it like a day or two. Chey, you got to check it out.
Yeah.
It probably is not on brand for what you do, but it's hysterical. But I
Great.
push people to do that, and please share them with me, and don't hesitate to share those in our Facebook group too. Inspire people. But I also think when it comes to first home IQ, that's a thing that can really create impact and move the needle, is to have you guys sharing inspirational but also educational content where you're not only sharing high level concepts, but you're teaching people the details of that. So anyways, love that.
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick, there's so much content in, if you are a first home IQ ambassador, all of the slide decks that we've created for events, you can use portions of that to just have something to refer to and teach from. And but we had and I also wanted to mention we have for our ambassadors a Hook AI bot that's trained with first home IQ branding. So if you are an ambassador, you can kind of brainstorm, like just help you. For me, it just helps to have a brainstorming partner on those. Okay, so we had a question from Paul. Does it kill the algorithm if the viewer skips to certain parts of the long form video?
No, I mean, it depends on still how much they watch, right? So just looking at overall watch time. So there is a thing that you can do in the description called chapters. And I do recommend that because that is an SEO thing. I would prefer chapters even over tags, where you are basically telling the viewer I'm talking about this at this point. And in the beginning, when chapters happened, first of all, we didn't have any AI to grab those chapters for us. So I had to actually watch Kelly's videos and like write down the timestamps, what she was talking about. It was a very long process. And some people were worried about, them skipping ahead. And they'd be like, no, I want them to watch the whole video. So I'm just going to keep teasing to the end. But in this TikTok kind of world, I think what a lot of creators have figured out, and certainly what we have, figured out is like some watch time is better than no watch time because actually people were jumping off. And what the chapters do too, chapters are also an SEO thing for the algorithm that kind of breaks down what is the content. It enhances what is the content in this video. So a viewer might only be looking, they might know, the first 3 steps, but they want the last 2 steps. So then if they skip to the last 2 steps and watch all the way to the end, you might find that they watched longer than if they just got bored and they jumped off.
Yeah, the
So
chapters are so key for me. I almost don't even watch videos without the chapters. And because I will often skip to something and then watch the whole video after that. It's just like you said, in this TikTok world, people with ADHD, whatever, it's like you need to get to that quick clip and then be like, okay, yeah, I want to watch the whole thing. So you probably said this already, but does Descript create those chapters for you? Okay, great.
yeah. Yeah. So what it'll do is, it'll go through and it'll find what they are and it'll label them. And then you copy and paste that into the description. So there's a certain format and Descript definitely does that. There are other apps that do it, but that is one of the things I like about Descript is it will write your title, a description, and do the chapters in it. So that's another great benefit. And I love Descript too. If you're doing a podcast and you're having remote guests, we used to have StreamYard, and we've actually left StreamYard for Descript because Descript it's kind of similar filming to StreamYard. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that, but then when you get done with the podcast, there's like a template you can apply and it will cycle through between speakers. So when this person's talking, it's on them. When that other person's talking, it goes to them, and it does a split screen and it just rotates through. And you can do all that for your hour-long podcast with the click of a button. I love that. I love things that save time. Really, honestly, there is a lot of work that goes into having a YouTube channel, but with AI, if you're really leveraging what AI has to offer, you're doing it more cost effective and quicker than ever before. So that's cool. So the next thing that I want to get into on how to leverage the YouTube channel, because I've had people tell me, oh, I did that YouTube thing. I didn't get any leads off of it. I didn't get any leads. And then like I might look at their channel and I can't even find their phone number anywhere. Like again, TikTok world, right? TikTok world. Make sure that your phone number or your email address or your website, whatever it is, how you want them to contact you, make sure it's in every channel description. It's in your bio. It's everywhere accessible where eyes can be, where there are spots for your contact information. Make sure it's there. Like, I know that seems obvious, but you would not believe how many channels I cannot find their contact information. And I think, oh, I'll look that up later. And then what happened? 75 other things happened. I never looked it up. I've moved on, right? The other thing is then when you,
Can I add
yeah,
something to that?
yeah,
So also, I hear a lot of people will do call to actions where it's like, oh yeah, call me if you have any questions. Here's my number. Like the more you can make it compelling, and like let's just use an example where you showed an example, like in Sean's, where like he shows an example of a mortgage coach. A great call to action would be, and if you'd like me to create a personalized one for you based off your local market and based off your goals, give me a call or text me or whatever. But the more like that call to action, I just see so many missed opportunities when I review content from loan officers, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, whatever. They just you're just not thinking through the call to action very well. So just wanted to add
and
that.
that's the other thing I love about YouTube is that you can do live links in the description, unlike Instagram, right? You can do live links. And you know what else we've done, Dave, that for our TCAs is that Kelly will say, I'll create one for you, but then she'll also, if we are showcasing a TCA in the video, we always say, if you want to look at these numbers closer, click the link in the description to look at the actual TCA. And we've actually tracked. I mean, when Kelly did that, she did a TCA about, the buyer's commission, incorporating that into the, price of the home, how the agents were going to get paid after the big NAR thing. I think she got like 500 clicks on that TCA. Like, that's also trackable. When we talk about measuring results, we're doing a video on a TCA and we're including the link to the TCA. And now we can see exactly how many people clicked on that.
Yeah, and you know how effective your distribution is and your engagement. I mean, super
Yeah.
powerful.
Absolutely. So that's the other thing, having these links or these opportunities to also get people off of YouTube, right? We want to get people off of YouTube and into our world. So if you have a newsletter, let's make sure we got opt-in links in our description. Let's talk about it in the video. Like, actually say, hey, do you like these tips? I have a weekly newsletter or a monthly newsletter where you could get these directly to your inbox. Click here, it's free. Now they're engaging with me. We actually just, Kelly ran into somebody that she had worked with when she was a coach over at the core. And she ran into her and she was talking to her, oh, I loved your last video. And she shared that she doesn't go to YouTube. She doesn't do any kind of social media. She only watches Kelly's videos via the email blast that we send out. That's how she watches them. She's not ever been to YouTube. She's not a subscriber, but Kelly sends this weekly email every week. She clicks on the videos. She gets the email. She clicks on the video. So getting people distributing your videos, that's part of the watch. That's how you get more watch time, is by you promoting your video and not relying on YouTube to promote the video for you. So putting the link, sending it out in your email newsletter every week or month or whatever it is, quarterly, whatever you do, getting those videos out there, that grows the views on YouTube. And for people who maybe don't watch YouTube, now they're getting your content. And so they're part of your database.
This is so good. I'm thinking about, how we can update our process here. We had a great question from Paul around when would be a good spot to put in a call to action, like obviously at the end, but do you intersperse that?
So for sure at the end, but I like a midway, because we know for sure that people don't watch all the way to the end, right? So a good average view duration on a video is 50%. So if you can work it in, and you have to be a little clever about how you work it into the middle, but I do recommend it. So let's say you had something today I have 10 tips. So you do the first 5 and then you go, all right, we're through the first 5 and I've got 5 more for you. But if you're already like all in and you're feeling like this is the program for you and you want to get pre-qualified or whatever your call to action is, or you want to download the ebook or whatever, then you put that in the middle. And then now on to our last 5 tips, right? So you can like take a pause. Like, so even if, let's say it was 3 tips, maybe you do the first 2 and then you've got 1, or like, if you're already all in, go ahead, give me a call, and you put that in there. So midway, I like it, but I wouldn't come out of the gate with it. An old practice on YouTube was, hi, my name is Chey. Today I'm going to be talking about this. So go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. But you haven't delivered the value yet. Okay. So I know people are like, oh, you don't want to be too salesy. Don't be salesy on social media. But let's be real. If you don't ask for the sale, you're not going to get it. It's just about asking the right way at the right time, right? Deliver the value, then do the ask. So if you can do that midway, I love a midway ask, and then again, repeat it at the end.
So good. I have lots more questions, but I just want, you're on a roll. So,
okay. So we're almost wrapping up. Also, I highly recommend for loan officers, was a game changer for us, is having a scheduling link. Okay. Like, You can do bookings, you can do Calendly, whatever it is. There's a free Calendly, or you can do like, it's very low cost to upgrade. Whatever it is, that was a game changer for us when we had a scheduling link and we were making sure that the scheduling link was in every video. We started getting people to schedule calls. So highly recommend that. Okay, moving on. There's so many more opportunities on YouTube besides like just getting leads. Obviously, that's one you want. And again, the key to getting leads is making sure that you've got your call to actions, right? They're signing up for a newsletter, they're getting a pre-qual, whatever it is, making sure every single video you say, what is the action I want to come from this video? And make sure that's built into not only the description, but also the content that you're filming in your video. You're doing the ask in your video. Every video, what is the action I want to come from this video? Okay, then you'll get the leads, but also you can monetize. So Kelly's Mortgage How Do I channel is monetized. You need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time in 12 months. It's a rolling 12 months. So once you get that, you can apply to be part of the YouTube Partner Program. That is how many views you get is going to determine how much money that you get paid. Kelly makes about $5,000-6,000 a year at present time on the YouTube channel. Not a lot, but I don't know about you. I've made an extra 5-6 grand in my pocket, right? And then opportunity to create relationships, right? Working with your partners to do videos or teaching them how to do YouTube. We actually taught somebody how to do YouTube, and now he gets leads on YouTube and he gives them to Kelly. So that's pretty cool. And then of course you do paid speaking events or just even a free opportunity where you can, get email or get exposure for you. That YouTube brings that. We have people actively calling, asking Kelly to speak to their group, to their real estate office, to their, she's actually been paid to go to like a competitor bank to speak, like for their sales event. They hired Kelly because of her YouTube channel, because of the authority that it brings when you showcase yourself online. And then of course you can do the online courses, you can do ebooks, you can make them free, you can make them paid, whatever it is. And then we've also even, people have reached out because they wanted to join Kelly's team, recruiting talent. There's so many opportunities that YouTube brings beyond just getting leads or monetizing. So it really is a wonderful thing. And then just kind of to wrap up, I have a really exciting course. I've never done this before. It's the very first time that I'm going to be offering. If you are a person who manages a channel and you're the one behind the camera, or either filming, or maybe you have a marketing person who's uploading your videos for you. I'm doing a channel managers workshop. It's a hands-on where we actually write titles and score them and give each other feedback and design thumbnails and give each other feedback. It's going to be so cool.
I feel like everybody should have their marketing manager, or if you're the one doing it, make sure you attend that. What is the cost of that workshop?
I'm offering 50% off right now with code Mastermind50. I think the regular price is $6.99 and you get 50% off. So, and again, there's 3 2-hour sessions where we're literally like designing and writing and giving each other feedback so that you can improve the titles. I'm showing them how to look at analytics to determine, when you look at your analytics, you know what next video to make. But you got to know where to look, how to look. You got to understand, what topics you should be making videos on that will help you get more traction on YouTube. We've made videos that just because we wanted to make them, and then we got 100 views because no one was searching that topic.
Wow.
So
that sounds.
Guys, first of all, give your little reactions. What you think about today's masterclass. Chey, you are amazing. And guys, having a YouTube channel, it's impact. Like you want to make impact. be valuable on social media. And I can't think of a better way to do it. And I can't think of a better expert in the industry. So as Kristen said, if you have a marketing manager, this is a great investment of time and money. If you are your marketing manager and you want to be valuable on YouTube, this is a great investment in yourself. I hope a lot of people become part of Chey's community and then play it forward in our community. Like if you're getting success, share it in the Mortgage Coach Facebook group, share it in Circle. You know, we would love to see more posts in the Circle community for all the people that are First Home IQ ambassadors. For the people that are not First Home IQ ambassadors, hopefully you're getting value from the free content that we have. But we'd also love to have more ambassadors that are just out there in the marketplace, changing the game for everyone.
Yeah. Chey, for the audience, we will be sending out an email with the recording and some of the links that Chey mentioned, including this workshop and a way to connect with Chey if you want to do coaching with her or attend a future workshop. So, Chey, anything else you want to share as we close out?
I just wanted to mention, so that's like the intensive channel managers workshop. It's really great for, the person that's designing the thumbnails and the titles and all that. But I do have another course that's starting on July 18th. So that is called Reboot Your YouTube Channel. If you already have a YouTube channel, but you're thinking, oh, I tried that YouTube thing and it didn't work. Maybe you've let it go stale. Maybe you're posting videos and you're getting like 20, 30 views. You have less than 100 followers, whatever it is, that Reboot Your YouTube Channel, what we do on that one is we take a look at like what are the things that would cause your channel not to perform, like what are the areas. So that one could be for either your marketing person or that just could be for you, because that's really just knowledge about what are the things that you need to tweak in order to succeed on YouTube. So that one's a little different and it's coming up soon. So if you're thinking, hey, I got 6 more months the rest of the year, and you want to like, this was the year I said I was going to do YouTube, I was going to fix my channel, that would be the course for you. And then if you have a marketing person, I definitely recommend workshop. But
Awesome.
thank you guys so much. I
So much.
really
And
appreciate this.
as Dave said, if you are interested in becoming an ambassador, you can go to firsthomiq.com/ambassador, sign up for an info session, watch some videos from other ambassadors there. We do offer video hooks and playbooks based on these types of series, and a lot of other resources, presentations, things like that. So thank
Oh,
you.
and also you could go to our Instagram, and first of all, you can interact with our AI bot, ask questions in Instagram, and thank you, Hoosie, for helping us be smart at scale. And there's a free trial sign up at our Instagram profile. So if you're not on the team, you want to get a free trial, go there and sign up. So Chey, great seeing you, and thank you so much.
Thank you. It was
All
great
right.
seeing you guys. Appreciate you.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.